a little note. Good evening, everyone. We are the Board of Selectmen Interview Subcommittee, and we're meeting this evening. It's January 17th, 2022, 6 p.m., actually 6:04 p.m. And I'm here with my colleague on the Board of Selectmen, Scott Rogers. And we are here to interview for a partial 2-year term to expire on April 30th, 2023 for the Community Affairs Committee. The first thing we're going to do is accept the meeting minutes of November 8th, 2021. Do I hear a motion?
Leslie, before we do you have the script we need to read about the
Yes, you are absolutely right.
being remote? I
appreciate that. Thank you for the reminder. Okay. I will read the intro that all the committees use. The open meeting of the Board of Selectmen Interview Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of June 16th, 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. All members of the interview committee are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows the interview committee to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. Each vote taken this evening will be conducted by roll call vote. I'm going to confirm member access. When I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Scott Rogers?
Present.
And I, Leslie Rattan, am present as well. Okay, so Scott and I will proceed with the acceptance of the meeting minutes of November 8th, 2021. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I move we vote to approve the subcommittee meeting minutes for November 8th as presented.
I second that. Any further discussion on those?
No.
All those in favor? Scott?
Aye.
And Leslie? Aye. Okay, so we're going to continue on with our interview for the partial 2-year term of on the Community Affairs Committee to expire on April 30th, 2023. Jim, if you want to bring in Susie Suzleka, please.
Hey, Susie.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year.
How are you? We're bringing Susie in. She is the chair of the Community Affairs Committee. And it's important during our interviews to have a liaison here from the committee that we're going to be making an appointment to, because that way we have all the information that the applicants need as far as questions and answers and so forth. So the first person we're going to interview is Shayla Eladrus.
So at this time, I do not see any applicants in the waiting room.
No applicants?
I'm going to try text since the cell number was on the application.
Okay. So Jim, no one is there yet? Any of the 4 candidates?
No, they are not. And you should be able to see them as they come into the waiting room as well.
Yeah, let me go over there. You're right, okay. You're right, we do have some cell. I assume they're cell numbers. Okay, so Scott, you're texting Shayla. Okay.
I am.
Okay. We also have a number here for Caitlin Crossan. I could try her as well.
Okay, that text is over. Oop. And unfortunately, auto-corrected on her name. Okay.
I hope that the MLK
It did
holiday.
it again. It auto-corrected. Stupid autocorrect. Okay, that's out. Leslie, did you say you're trying to get a hold of the next one?
Yes.
Next candidate? Okay. Okay, let's see if we get a response there.
I changed out of my Bills sweatshirt for the interviews.
Uh-oh. That's
So-
probably a good
I
thing.
had to bring it up. I had to bring it up.
Caitlin did just enter the waiting room if you would like me to bring her in.
Oh, good. She was the one I was just, yes, she was the one I was just texting. Okay. Hi, if you're still muted.
Okay, hi, how you doing?
Hi, Caitlin. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm Leslie Ritchie, Board of Selectmen, and this is Scott Rogers, Board of Selectmen, and Susie Suzlika is the chair for the Community Affairs Committee.
Hi, guys, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Hi.
We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. So tell us about yourself and why you are interviewing for this particular committee.
Sure, so I'm a lifelong Northborough resident, born and raised. And so now I'm here raising my family. I have 3 little kids, all at Proctor School. And I am involved as a participant in all of the activities and everything that the committee does. And really had a great time at the tree lighting this year. And I thought, what the heck, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to apply, see if I can join the crew. Just love Northborough, love being involved. And so I thought it was a good opportunity. I am currently, I'm a nurse practitioner up at UMass. I've been doing that for about 13 years. And so I'm a busy person. I work Monday through Friday. But definitely looking to get more involved with the community. And I also love what they've done with the summer concert series. I think it's so much fun. So we really enjoy everything. My kids do the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern decorating. And so it's really been a great time and I'd love to be involved.
Wonderful. Tell us a little bit more about you. You've got a lot of nursing background.
For the most part, I've just been in primary care,
Mhm.
little bit of OBGYN, but I was actually, before becoming a nurse practitioner, I was a Worcester public school teacher. I taught 2nd grade. Went to college the first time, got my degree in education, and then decided I wanted to do more after I got out and traveled the world. And so I went back to school and got my bachelor's and then master's in nursing. So, and my mom was actually the Algonquin school nurse for years.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, she was obviously a good role model, and you've got a great background.
Yeah, thank you.
2 difficult jobs. You know, both of those jobs are, you have to sacrifice a lot for
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Okay. Do you, Susie, can you tell us about this committee and basically what are the main things that you would expect out of a member of the committee? And how often do you meet? And what basically do you expect of a new person?
So we're a 9-person committee set by the town charter. We started in the 80s by Louise Houle, who our town cleanup is actually named after. And we look for community building events. We try to tie in donations to the food pantry as often as we can, and just bringing the community together. So we do, in February, we're starting a new event called Kindness Week. It's probably going to be over a weekend, but the schools want to be involved. Greg Martineau is very interested in becoming involved, so they'll probably handle during the week. Last year, we did the Valentine's Day cards at the Senior Center event. I'm not sure. I have to reach out to the new director of the Senior Center about that this year. March, we did the Munchie Madness contest to boost businesses and the restaurants in our community. April, we do the town cleanup. June through August, we do the concert series, which we had raised the number of concerts to 5. October, the jack-o'-lantern contest, and we're going to attempt the stroll again if Mother Nature agrees with us this year. And in December, we do the tree lighting. We added the menorah lighting because it worked out perfect timing-wise this year. So it's not during the tree lighting next year. So we're going to have to figure out something, even if it's something small, but to be involved in that. And the Light Up the Town contest, which is driving around. And as I said, we try to support the local businesses and restaurants. We ask for donations from them. Sometimes we purchase gift cards from them for our prizes. We do donations to the food pantry. We meet the third Wednesday of every month for an hour, although sometimes I've been trying to get rooms at the library when we're back in person. So it also depends on that schedule, but we try to do it on a Wednesday between 7 and 8. And for the events in person, I do have some notes. My committee members submitted some questions and things for me to go over to make sure that we're trying to cover everything. So our events often require 1 to 3 hours of prep work per member, and then 4 to 6 hours the day of the event. So we wanted to make sure people knew about that. We don't really have idea people and then worker bee people. We all kind of pitch in and help out. And we are looking for other events to add to things, but we do realize, we're all on other committees or work. So we are trying to do our best in adding things. And even, honestly, for everyone that interviews tonight, I would love for them to start joining us at our meetings, because if you're interested, I don't want to turn people away. And if the more people we have, the more that we can do.
Mm-hmm. Susie, how do you normally do it in terms of some of these events? Do you ask people who's available to work on something? Do you have subcommittees? How do you?
So no, we meet in person and we kind of hash out what we're going to do. Like we get the framework and kind of go, okay, well, I'll do this. But then we are like text heavy. Okay, I went to these businesses, like we share notes and spreadsheets. I went to these businesses, here's the map that I made. Can everyone look it over? Here's the website, or the web design. And that's basically, it's fun, busy work. We all love it. Sometimes, somebody just can't help during that time, like kids' birthdays or this or that, and sports, or because we don't want you to say no to your personal life too. So if somebody can't make it to an event or do something, they'll say, okay, I'll do this instead, or we just try to cover each other.
Okay, that sounds great. Caitlin, do you have any questions of us or of Susie?
You guys have done a great job. I don't really have any questions. My biggest thing coming into this was the time commitment and when the meetings were. And so Susie answered that. So thank you so much. The closest thing I've come to and something like this committee was I helped plan the spring fair at Proctor School a couple of years ago, but I did it for 3 years, and it was the same thing, going out to the community, soliciting donations and organizing and prepping. And it is a time commitment, but it's something I really would like to do. With COVID calming down, it also means that my work life is calming down a little bit. So yeah, the time commitment was my biggest question. So thank you for answering that.
Yes. We really try to help each other out. And as I said, the more people, the merrier, because we have plans that we want to do, but we just don't always have the manpower. It's hard to start something new. It's easier to add to it, like with the menorah, having that event that was already in place, and I'm just adding one thing to it, made it so much easier. So yeah, we're just, we're always looking for suggestions and ideas, and we're looking to work with other committees too. I've been in talks with the garden club about, the town cleanup, and we'd like to get the trails committee there. And, we're just always looking for branching and working with these other fantastic groups that are in town too.
We have a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee. There are a lot of different things that are going to come out of some of these committees that will overlap. And
yes, I can't wait for them to have that report done and their initial work done so that we can start working on new things together.
All very exciting stuff.
Yes.
So is there anything else we can answer for you?
No, I think you guys have done a great job. Like I said, I've loved being a participant in all of these activities that the committee puts on. My whole family comes out and we join in. So I'd love to be a part of it. And I appreciate your time so much tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. The next step would be we will have a discussion at the end of our interview session this evening, and we'll make a motion to go forward that will then be voted on at our next Board of Selectmen, which is next Monday, the 24th.
Okay, thank you.
And if you would like to attend or view our meeting, we have one this Wednesday. So the agenda's on Wednesday, 7 to 8. So we have the Zoom because we can't meet it in person right now. So we do have the Zoom, and if you'd like to join and start, I think we're going to be working on Kindness Week #1. And then probably just getting into the town cleanup and the bands. We have to listen to bands.
Okay, great.
which might be a side project since we're on Zoom. We might not be doing that at the meeting like we normally would, but
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no, I will try to join in. My husband's on a business trip this week, but I will try.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time.
All right, thanks for having me.
Bye.
Okay.
So Leslie, I did hear back from Shayla Eldrews, and she is under the weather and unable to speak. She was trying to get a hold of Diane and Linda earlier today, but with town offices closed, so she's looking to reschedule interview if possible. She's still interested in the position, and I do have a little interaction with her that is just due to not being able to speak this evening.
Well, yes, that makes it hard to interview if you can't speak. Yeah. Okay.
And then I have a text out to Jennifer Martin, who would be next on our list. But while we wait to hear from her, maybe move forward to Katie Cerrone here.
Yes, I agree.
And keep things moving along.
Yes, she is here. So why don't we admit her? I'll go ahead and do that. Hi, Katie. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
We're bringing you in a little bit early because the next person isn't here yet. So I'm glad you're here so we can continue on, and as long as you're ready. I'm Leslie Rattan, Board of Selectmen. My colleague Scott Rogers from the Board of Selectmen. Susie Cizlika is the chair for the Community Affairs Committee. So thank you for being here. We are interviewing for a partial 2-year term on the Community Affairs Committee to expire on April 30th, 2023, as you know. So if you could tell us something about yourself, what is your background and why are you applying for this position?
My background is primarily in school systems. Various experience. I'm a school counselor myself. So involved in younger age groups, really trying to get families involved, whether it be like in education or in the schools. And so coming to Northborough, it seems like my sister had moved here first and we came along, just hearing that it was such a great place and hearing really that the sense of community here. And so it was really nice when I had learned about the Community Affairs Committee and to know that there is a group of people that are coming together to really try and get the community not only involved in different things, but knowing that there's a group that's trying to really build that sense of community in Northborough as well. So yeah, so my background, like I said, is primarily in schools. I'm also on the Northborough Soccer Board and have been involved in the PTO as well.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. So you're used to working with kids and
Yes.
yes,
My own
and that's
kids.
a wonderful job. Okay. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. What would you hope to accomplish on, actually, before you answer that, let's have Susie explain what the committee does and what the expectations are of the members and how often you meet and what you usually accomplish during those meetings.
Okay, so we are a 9-person committee that was started by Town Charter in the 80s by Louise Houle, who our town cleanup is named after. We try to bring the community together while supporting local businesses and restaurants. We get donations going for the food pantry and just creating things that build in the community. We meet the third Wednesday of every month. We try to. I've been trying to get the rooms at the library. So sometimes it's the second Wednesday or the fourth Wednesday. For about an hour, we kind of hash things out and build a framework for what we're going to be doing. And then we do all of our busy work outside of the meeting and constantly have spreadsheets and lists going back and forth and who's doing what. I like to say that we don't have just idea people and then worker bee people. You kind of have to be both. And if personal life kind of takes over for one event, then other people pick up the slack and we help each other out. Our events go from we're starting a new one, Kindness Week in February. And we will be working with the school district on that. Greg Martineau is very interested in getting that going and tying that in. We did a Valentine's Day card thing at the senior center last year. March is our Munchie Madness contest to support local businesses. April is our town cleanup. June through August is our concert series, and we had upped the number of concerts to 5. October is the Jack-o'-lantern stroll and contest. We haven't had a stroll yet because of Mother Nature, but we're hoping to next year. December is our tree lighting, and now we will be having a menorah lighting because Hanukkah does not fall during the typical tree lighting weekend this year. And the Light Up the Town contest. And as I said, we support the local food pantry, supporting local businesses, Toys for Tots. We're really trying to branch out and work with other groups in the community and bring us all together. So I think did I cover everything that I covered? So that's what we do. Trying to think.
And you
that was
don't
everything.
necessarily divide up into subcommittees. Everybody kind of just fills in where.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And it's just easier, like for that hour that we do meet, where we can just hash things out and build that framework so that we can all go out and do things. And, I'll take this end of town or these businesses to go into, or somebody might be getting a coffee one day and say, oh, I grabbed this coffee shop, I'm taking it off the list for you. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how we handle things. We do work as a team. And I am telling everyone, regardless, Scott and Leslie, I know you're going to make a wonderful decision, but regardless of who they choose, you're still welcome to come to our meetings. You just can't vote on the minutes and to accept the financial report. But otherwise, we would love because the more hands we have, the better. Mm-hmm. And it is hard, it's hard to start new events. Like we did Munchie Madness last year, but we were all kind of home and stuck. So now that that's going and the restaurants know about it, now we can it'll kind of work itself out this year. So we have that framework done. And then the tree lighting, we could add the menorah because they already had the tree lighting event, and Hanukkah happened to fall during that event this year. So it was a great time to tie it in. Mm-hmm. But we do like to do new things too, but we do know our limitations. So I don't want you thinking, we come in, but sometimes one of us might have huge ideas and they do bring me down. But Scott has attended many of our meetings and they're like, okay, Suze, come on down. But yeah, we love to bring the community together.
Katie, do you have questions about the committee or what it does and what might be expected of you?
Not so much. I do know a few different members on it, so I have a good idea of what's expected and how well everyone works together. So at this time, I don't particularly have any questions.
Okay. Do you have any expectations of yourself as accomplished, things that you'd like to accomplish, anything different that you would like to see happening in town? Or do you like what you see already?
I do like what I see. I love the addition of new events, and I get excited where every year I feel like there's one or two at least that pop up, and it's nice to see. And it's good to see events for different age groups as well as, you know, that there is some thought going into the different age groups, which I think is great, especially whereas my kids are getting older and I do still want that community involvement. So I think really just placing that emphasis to make sure that the events aren't geared towards a certain age, like you know, the tree lighting can be certainly there's the elementary schools involved right up through. So just really continuing to make sure that it is events for all ages.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Wonderful. Great. Wonderful point. Scott, do you have any questions?
Not at this moment. I guess it's, yeah, Katie, if there was certain aspects, a network of people that you would bring, contacts, fundraising capabilities, to your kind of background or experiences there?
Yeah, so with that, it really is a lot of the experience either through PTO or through soccer. And so with those two areas, there are connections that are made throughout the town or even with other towns of trying to not recreate the wheel. So having some connections maybe in other towns as well of you know, if we do have an idea and we know a local town has done it, being able to reach out to some of those connections just to help utilize some of those resources. So I do feel like with those two areas, there are some connections that have been made.
And that meeting schedule works for you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I would love this opportunity. It seems like a great group of people and it would be something that would be very excited for.
Wonderful. The next thing we will be doing, we'll be having a discussion at the end of this interview session and bringing a motion forward for our next Board of Selectmen meeting, which is next Monday. However, we have one applicant who we're going to need to reschedule because she's not feeling well, wasn't able to be here tonight. So if we can't reschedule it for this week, and it's a little bit doubtful with my schedule, we may need to put this off until our Selectmen's meeting after that, which would be in February.
Okay.
So if she is scheduled for this week, then we will have our motion for next Monday. Otherwise, it'll be the next meeting. So
Okay.
And I forgot to add, I knew there was something. We have a meeting on Wednesday if you'd like to attend or view it, and it's over Zoom. So we'll be at home and kind of going over Kindness Week if you want to see like how we do start to hash out something new, and probably dive into Munchie Madness just a little bit, and then bands we'll be discussing. So
Great.
you're welcome to come. Just let me know and I can send you the info and you can join the call or just watch it. But no pressure.
Yeah.
But as I said, like we would love more help because we have plans, you know.
There's never enough people.
Right.
Yeah, Susie, if you could send me that.
Good committee.
Sure.
Yep, wonderful. So unless there's anything else, thank you very much, Katie, for being here, taking the time and coming in early to the meeting. So we appreciate it.
Thank you for your time as well.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, and it looks like Jennifer Martin is here, Jen Martin. So okay, she's in. Did you do that, Scott?
I think Jim got it.
Oh, Jim did. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Jen.
Hi,
Hi.
Jen.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Leslie Ritchie, Board of Selectmen. This is Scott Rogers, also on the Board of Selectmen, and Susie Suzlika joins us as the Chair of the Community Affairs Committee.
All right. Nice to meet you guys. I know Susie, but nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Tell us why you are here. Tell us about your background and why you're interested in this position.
So I've thought about it for the last couple years, just seeing all the different activities that the community does, and just knowing a few people on the committee, especially, I think I put this in my application, but cleanup, community town cleanup, and then the writing letters at the senior center. I love that one. So I just think the group just seems great. It just seems like a great organization to be a part of. So I, a couple of years ago thought about maybe applying, and I actually, to be honest, was kind of on the fence even now. I work full time and I've had a pretty busy year, but I'm trying to figure out, how I can just add some more to my plate. So if you have a lot of applicants, I might not be the best, but it's something. I've lived in Northborough for 5 years now. I don't plan to leave. So if right now isn't the right time, I want to do this eventually. So I don't want to waste anyone's time, but I wanted to just come on because I want to learn more about it. And it's something I want to do. Very interested. I just have to figure out if it's the right fit.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about your background. I see that you are a commercial real estate appraiser. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's good. We're slammed.
Yes.
The last couple years have been crazy, and COVID with interest rates is just, I'm just nonstop. So, but yeah, our company's out of Westboro, but I work at home and we cover all of New England. I have 2 little boys at home. One's in kindergarten, one's in pre-K. First grade and pre-K. Moved here, like I said, 5 years ago. And yeah, I've been appraising for like 10 years.
Wonderful.
So that's pretty much it. Between that and the kids,
You're wrapped up.
that's all I got. That's all I do.
Yeah. Well, also too, as Susie has explained to a couple of the other applicants, well, actually, the other 2 we've interviewed so far. If you weren't a formal member of this committee, maybe it's the kind of thing you would want to even just attend when you can.
Yeah.
Listen in, watch, come forth with some ideas. You wouldn't be able to vote on minutes and other things that would require a vote, but it might be the kind of thing you could, zero in on as far as, this week I have time to tune in and watch. So feel free to do that too, if that's more appealing as well.
Yeah, that's.
And I will add, I was not a voting member for probably the first, I want to say 6 to 8 months that I was on the committee. I just started going because I wanted to help plan and, bring the ideas forth. And I think I had 2, I think I only had 2 kids then, but my middle he was still an infant. So like if I couldn't make an event, it wasn't a very big deal.
Yeah.
Like the tree lighting, like it wasn't the time for me to be able to attend a nighttime event. But I still attended the meetings and I helped out where I could, and I went into the businesses on behalf of our committee. So, it was great. So, you don't have to say no, you just don't have to say a full yes right now, because we'd love more help,
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect transition too.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It might suit you as well. Also, just keep an eye on the page on the town website as far as the openings and other committees, because we have a lot of committees. They meet at different times. And also there is turnover. Not that I want to see turnover on the Community Affairs Committee, but there is turnover realistically. People move, or they get too busy, or their child's doing something else and the night doesn't work for them. So it's not like this is not a fluid situation. So
yeah. Okay. How many committee members are there? And is it like, do people have different jobs within the committee, or is it all just working together?
So we're a 9-person committee, and we were started by the town charter in the 80s by Louise Houle, who our town cleanup is named after. The different jobs, like I'm the chair, so I'm the one that does this.
Okay.
And I go to like the diversity meeting. If we, if we're going to meet with the Trails Committee or the Garden Club, I'd probably be the one to go just because, it's easier for me.
Okay.
We have like a treasurer already who's fantastic, and a secretary. But
Okay.
then like for each event, like we have one person who always handles the bells for the tree lighting. And I know this sounds
Okay.
silly, but they handle the bells. They put they put the string on the bells. It's just different things like that. And then during the meetings, which is usually the third Wednesday of the month, I'm trying to get us into the library for when we're meeting in person. So sometimes the rooms are not available, but we do aim for the third Wednesday of the month, 7 to 8. We kind of hash out the framework of an event, discuss what's coming up. We recap past events quick, but we do the majority of our busy work outside of the committee, obviously. So I was saying, like, oh, I'll take, West Main Street, I'll take those businesses and see. But then like if I'm in, near a coffee shop and I pop in and I check the list quick on my phone and I'm like, oh, it hasn't, like Lisa hasn't stopped in yet. So I'll say, I'm going to do the ask here, so we just kind of cover each other. And if someone's life takes over, like birthday parties, work, we just kind of all pick up the slack for the other person, because I don't want, you to feel like you have to miss out on your personal stuff either.
Okay.
But other than that, we do, we're going to start Kindness Week in February and working with the schools on that. The Valentine's Day card event. March is our Munchie Madness contest, which now that we have started that last year is not going to be a lot of work. I'm going to set up the voting, do the heavy advertising for it, and then it's pretty much already going to work itself.
Okay.
The town cleanup, which, we're always looking to add, we had bigger ideas, but then COVID hit. So we're just trying to pick up on expanding that a little bit. June through August, we have the concert series. We do like to have one member there. And you would think it's like easy, but with a 9-member committee, we're always scrambling like, okay, we need one member there for the setup, just to make sure nothing goes wrong. October is the jack-o'-lantern stroll and contest. We do want to have a stroll at some point if it's not pouring rain or slushy snow. December, the tree lighting. We'll have the menorah lighting as well, and the light up the town contest.
Okay.
And we do try to incorporate the food pantry donations everywhere that we can. Like we did Toys for Tots for the tree lighting the last couple of years, working with the fire department, which is great. They love to work with us. We love to support the local businesses as much as we can. So even if we're asking them for something, sometimes we're buying gift cards from them. I try to heavily advertise. They're so thankful, I think, especially now for that spotlight. So we try to give it to them as much as we can. And just bring the community together, basically. So that's where we're at. And it is hard to start something new, but once we can get it going, so we're trying to like add on to things and work with other groups. That's I would say one of our main goals for this year, because we had started that before COVID. So now like for the town cleanup, like I want to get the trail committee there. Like I want, the garden club I'm in talks with, and the diversity and inclusion committee, once they're done, they're doing like a formal report, and we're all hoping that they'll remain just a regular committee, working with them, working with the schools. So it's about making connections in town and just adding to things, basically.
Like having all the activities which are contributing to the town, but then also the piece of the small businesses. Like, you mentioned are you constantly like touching base with all the businesses, or are you trying to get sponsors?
We look for sponsorships. Like for the Light Up the Town, we put together these amazing baskets for the winners. And we say to the businesses, donate something, even if it's something small. And then we'll be able to advertise you. Munchie Madness, the winner of Munchie Madness, we gave them the choice of a Northborough restaurant gift certificate and a certain dollar amount. So they got to choose their favorite. And I will advertise every eatery that we have in Northborough, because I can get it. Scott had gotten me the list from, I think, the Board of Health and the food agent. And so we just want to boost up these small businesses because they're what makes Northborough so great.
Right.
So
good info. But I don't want to make any assumptions about you. So would you prefer not put you in our discussion as far as the position itself, or do you think you would like to just attend meetings as a non-official member?
Probably attend meetings as a non-official member. I think
Okay.
that'd be the best for now.
Okay, because I don't want to kick it around and make an improper assumption about what you like.
Perfect.
Okay, and so we'd love to have you on. Really, please think about applying when you feel like you have more time.
Yes. Okay.
We'll have some openings probably eventually. Other things, there are a lot of cool things happening in town, and a lot of overlap with what some of them are doing. So
Okay.
that'd be wonderful.
And our next meeting is actually this Wednesday, and it will be on Zoom.
Okay.
So I can get you the information on that if you'd like to join in or just view it. And I'm sure we'll be on YouTube after as well if you don't, if you're not free Wednesday 7 to 8, but you're welcome to it, because the more people, the more help we can have, and the better we can make our events.
Okay, perfect.
That was wonderful. Well, thank you, Jen, very much.
All right, thank you guys for your
Appreciate
time. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to
Thank
meet
you.
All right, have a good night. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Okay. All right. That was wonderful. That was fun. It's fun hearing about other people and what they do. So I think that we will need to work with Diane, Scott, to see if we can reschedule Shayla. Again, I don't know if it's going to be this week or not. That might not be realistic for me. So if we do, great, then we can vote on a motion. And obviously we'd let Susie know too, so she can be at that meeting and see if she's your that could be a little rough this week.
This week is a little tough for myself as well.
Okay, a lot of meetings, a lot of things are starting.
A lot of meetings this week.
All of a sudden, meeting,
and a full moon. Like it's too much. It's too much for me.
Those two things are not good together.
No.
Well, that's why your offer, Susie, for anyone really to attend and contribute what they can to the Community Affairs Committee. I think that's great. So even if we are delayed in getting a formal decision to have, all these candidates, join, and there might be, if we're delayed, you might end up with two meetings before we get a formal decision. So having everybody, anybody who is willing to attend and join and help out when they can. That's the beauty of the Community Affairs Committee, right? Is that it's such a great group, and you always need folks to do things. So being a non-voting member is almost as great as a member.
And I mean, all of us, as I said, like people work full time. People don't work full time like myself, but we're the head of other committees. We're on other committees, so we're all very understanding of each other too. So, I'm excited to see people that have different backgrounds than the people that are on applying too.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they're not like, oh, I work full time, I wouldn't be able to be a part. You know what I mean? Like, I want everyone to join in and help.
So I think for that reason, if we can do this reschedule, we don't need to have a further discussion about.
We'll save our deliberation until we get the next one.
We will not bring another motion forward. So we'll just end it here. And
okay. Thank you guys.
If we can, when we reschedule Shayla.
Okay, great.
I'll include you on that.
Awesome. Thanks.
You have my email. All right. Night, guys.
Take care, Susie.
Okay, so I think that's.
Yeah, there wasn't any other items on the agenda, right, Leslie?
That's it. That's all we need to do. We'll just have to, we'll continue this then until we interview Shayla. So
Sounds
hopefully it works out soon.
okay. Based on that, I move we adjourn for tonight.
I'll second that. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor, Scott,